All right. So if you ever want to locate like a form specific to a contact that they filled out, there's two ways you can do this. You can actually go to sites, and then you can go to forms, and then go to submissions. Here is where you can see different forms that have been filled out for different clients. You can even click on the drop down here that says submissions, and then there's all of the different types of forms in this list of all the forms that you have created inside of your account. So you can click on all forms, you'll see all forms that have been filled out, and then you can see ones pertaining to specific forms. So on here, this is where you can read when they've been, what time they've been submitted, the contact's picture with, or um, their first and last initial, their name, their email address, first, last name, phone number, whether the terms conditions was selected or not, their IP address is on here, and their time zone. If you need to manage the columns, you can do that. So if you want to turn off certain columns from being seen, you can uncheck those boxes. The submitted at is locked, so that will be the only one that you can't turn off. You can also rearrange them. So if you want like the IP address to come first, or if you want their email to come first, or their first and last name to come first, you can do that as well too. Just make sure that you click let me move my chat bubble here if it lets me. Let's do so. Okay, it doesn't want to move for me right now. However, you can move this bubble, but click apply. It should have been behind that bubble, and then it'll save any changes that you made. Okay. You can also change the dates of when they appear. You can also export the submissions of all of the forms. Okay. Now, there's also another area where you can locate this as well too. So if you go to the contact and you're looking for that specific contact's information, click on contacts, and then you want to search for that particular contact. So let's go to Missy, and then on the left-hand side here, you'll see this section here where you have the contact's information. This is all the information pertaining to this particular contact. So you want to actually scroll down to this section. You'll see some of these where they have like a bunch of different arrows right here. And these are pertaining to all of the forms that are in your system or in your 360 account. So we're going to look for the one that was called sample form because that was the one that Missy filled out. And we're going to click on the arrow. Okay. Now, this area right here will actually have questions on there that are like custom questions. So if you have custom questions on there and when I say custom questions, these are questions that you've actually already added in there, not the default, such as the first and last names, email, phone number. Those items are defaults. Now, if you add something in there, then that would populate here, such as, let's click on one here. Okay, so I have a form here that has, for additional info, I have one here that has like the yes above, please list your preferred vendor. These are ones that I've actually typed in, changed the what the setting would pull over for the element. I changed those informations. These are questions that I actually typed onto the form and put on here. So those would populate in here. All of these right here, these are questions that I created. Okay. So you see all of that. Now you do the same thing for here. So even for this one, this is a credit card authorization form that I created. This is using like a text box. These are created where I typed out this information and put it on here. So let's see here. For example, maybe I can give you a better visual here. Let's go back to the sites. And if I go to Builder and then I go to Add Form, we'll do one from scratch. I do Create. Okay, so these are defaults, like I mentioned before: first name, last name, phone number, email. Okay, of course, that's not going to pull over in that section because there's already a section for it above it. So let's say if I added something in here, let's say if I added a text box and I added a single line text box. Okay, you see how this naming convention is here, but I can also change this here on the right for a label. So let's change here. This is a sample text box question. Okay, so there's that. And let's hit, let's change the name here. So example form number 1. All right, so I saved this one. So now let's go back and look at a contact. So that way I can show you exactly how that would work and where you can find this information for specific contacts. So let's go back to contact. Let's go back to Missy for an example. And now you should see that, let's close these. You should see that one in here, that located in here. Okay. So form 14, this is where we had typed in the box that we added. Now you'll see that this populates on any contact that we actually have in here. So you'll be able to see the answers that they put for those particular questions. All right, so that's how you can locate any submissions or any answers that you're specifically looking for a particular client from a form.